Now we will discuss the examples of indented contour. We have I is equal to 0 to infinity sine ax by x dx. Consider contour of f of z. We know that when we find the contour, we suppose our function f of x is equal to f of z. Just replace x by z, where f of z is equal to, in previous lecture we discussed when we have a trigonometric function like sine and cos, then we use e iota a z instead of sine ax. By we replace x by z. To find pole, put denominator is equal to 0. Denominator is z. Z is equal to 0. Now we can see that at origin, our pole lie at origin. So that's type pole which are lie along region, it's called simple pole. We have a contour minus r to r. Z is equal to 0. Pole lie along real line, okay, and at origin. So we discuss about if our poles lie along real axis, then we cannot find the Cauchy's residue theorem, because to evaluate the Cauchy residue theorem we have a condition our poles lie under a contour. So that's why we will exclude this point by drawing another semicircle along this point. When we draw a semicircle along this point, then this point will exclude and we get a analytic contour, and then we can find our function along this contour. So the point which is lie on real axis, we draw a semicircle along this point and give its name minus r to r. It is very small value which is negligible. We draw a semicircle of very small radius which is negligible, and this radius is greater than small r. So when we exclude this point, then we can find out the residue by using Cauchy residue theorem. Now you can see that we have just one pole, and that is z is equal to 0. Except this we have no pole. So by Cauchy residue theorem, contour of c, f of c dz is equal to 2 pi iota summation r. Because we have just one pole, and that is z is equal to 0. So there is no pole of f of z. By excluding this point, we have no pole. So there is no pole of f of z within c's contour. Therefore, our residue, sum of residue is equal to 0. So contour of function is equal to 2 pi iota summation r. So summation r is equal to 0 because we have no pole except z is equal to 0. So contour of function is equal to 0. As we know that we divide this contour into 4 parts by excluding this point. How? Minus r to r, minus r to minus r, f of x dx, because our functions lie along x-axis. So z is equal to x plus iota y, along x-axis y is equal to 0. So z is equal to x. So f of x dx plus this point to this point cr f of z dz plus r to r f of x dx, because our point lie along x-axis, plus this contour cr f of z dz is equal to this one. Now we will put the value f of x is equal to e iota ax by x dx plus e iota az by z dz plus e iota ax by x dx and e iota az dz. Now we can see that let r approaches to infinity. If the radius of this contour approaches to infinity, then this contour is very small, so its value is negligible. So if this r approaches to infinity, then small r approaches to 0. So we can see that we put the r approaches to infinity in this limit and r approaches to 0 in this place. So we have minus infinity to 0 e iota ax by x dx plus limit r because contour along small r. Limit r approaches to 0 cr e iota az by z dz plus 0 to infinity e iota ax by x dx plus limit r approaches to infinity e iota az over z dz is equal to 0. Now we can see that e iota az over z dz is equal to 0. How? By Jordan's lemma. What is Jordan's lemma? If limit z approaches to infinity like this, f of z is equal to 0, then limit r approaches to infinity, integral of e iota mz f of z is equal to 0. M is a here. So f of z is equal to, like we can see that we have a function f of z is equal to 1 over z. So if we put z approaches to infinity, 1 over infinity is equal to 0. So our this integral will become 0. Now we can see that we have integrated minus infinity to 0 and 0 to infinity. So by Cauchy's principal value theorem, we discuss the pole along real axis is equal to principal value. So we can write it as minus infinity to positive infinity because functions are same. This is function along x-axis and this is function along x-axis. So e iota x over x dx plus limit r approaches to 0 cr e iota az by z dz is equal to 0. Now we will put this limit along right side. So minus infinity to infinity e iota ax over x dx is equal to minus limit r approaches to 0 cr e iota az over z dz. Now z mod is equal to r. So z is equal to r e iota theta. dz is equal to iota r e iota theta and d theta. We differentiate it. So we have dz is equal to iota r e iota theta and d theta. Now we can see that our contour moves from minus r to r in pi to 0. So angle is pi to 0. Now just put the values f of z is equal to r e iota theta and dz is equal to e iota alpha r e iota theta. Okay, dot dz is equal to iota r e iota theta and d theta. Now r e iota theta cancel out by this and we have e iota alpha r e iota theta d theta. Now we place limit under the integral limit r approaches to 0 e iota a r e iota theta d theta. After applying limit r approaches to 0, e0 is equal to 1. So we have just d theta. Now minus iota is equal to integral of d theta is equal to theta and limits are pi to 0. So we will put the limits, upper limit minus lower limit 0 minus pi minus minus plus iota pi. So minus infinity to infinity e iota ax by x dx is equal to iota pi. Now we know that e iota x is equal to cos ax plus iota sin ax by Euler theorem. Dividing by x dx is equal to iota pi. Now we will put limits separately on this and this value. Minus infinity into infinity cos ax by x dx plus iota sin ax by ax dx is equal to iota pi. Now by equating the imaginary part, because we have a function in this form, so we just equate the imaginary part. Minus infinity to infinity sin ax over x dx is equal to pi. If function is even, then by property of a definite integral, minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 0 to a f of x dx. How can function is even? If we put f of minus x in function and we obtain f of x, then our function is even. If we put x is equal to minus x and we get a minus f of x, then our function will be odd. Let's check. we put minus x sine, it's a not m, sine a x is equal to minus x. We know that sine minus theta is equal to minus sine theta, so it will become minus sine ax over x replaced by minus x, so minus minus cancel out, we have sine ax by x. After putting minus x, we have a function again this time, so it is even function. So by using the property of definite integral, minus infinity to infinity f of x is equal to 2 0 to a, so 2 0 to infinity sine ax over dx is equal to pi as it is. Now we evaluate the integral of this value, so it remain this side and we will divide the 2 on right side, pi by 2. This is our answer.